Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this edition of Physics. This video is designed entirely to show you how to use a DMM, that is a digital multimeter. It looks like this. It's called a DMM, digital multimeter, because it has digital readout, it does multiple things, meter, it measures stuff. We will be using this device to measure two different things, voltage and current, and you need to know how to operate this device in order to do that. To measure voltage, you're going to be in this upper region here, where it's got the V, and we want to set it so that it is just above what we're looking at. My power supply here is running my light bulb with a voltage of 4.5, so I need to be above the 2, below 20, so I'm going to turn it to the 20 dial. Now, I've got 3 holes down here. One hole is always filled. That's the bottom one. It's the common. Traditionally, we put the black probe in the common wire, but I'll be honest with you, the electrons do not care what color wire you wrap their road in. They're running through the metal, not the black. The black is the insulator part. So they don't really care. Pick whichever one you want. Traditionally, we put the black in the common. With these DMMs, you got to make sure that the wires are pushed fully in. The red one then, as you can see, we have 2 other choices. We have the 10A for current or the V for voltage. Since we're measuring voltage on this, we're going to fill the V hole, the voltage hole. And now I've got my DMM set to measure the voltage. When I go to measure voltage, I simply take my wires and I set them across the device that I'm measuring. So I put one wire on one side, the other wire on the other side, and I get a reading of 3.99, I'd round that to 4 volts. If I have my wires the wrong way, you see that I get the exact same value, only a negative sign, meaning my wires are switched. If you don't like the negative sign, you can either switch your wires back or simply ignore it. I tend to just ignore it. I'm funny like that. Now, when I go to measure current, I'm going to flip it down here to the 10 amp setting for current. And I need to change the red wire from the voltage hole to the 10A hole. So I take it out of that and I put it in. So when you measure current, your wires are set up where the black is in the common, there's always one in the common, and the red is in the 10A hole for 10 amps. It means we measure up to 10 amps. Now, when you go to measure current, if you ever get a current reading greater than 1 amp, you are doing something wrong. We are never going to get currents greater than 1 amp through any of our devices, so don't do that. If you get a current rating greater than 1, you're doing something wrong and you need to find your mistake and fix it. Here's the most common mistake. Unlike voltage, look at what happens to the light bulb if I just set my wires across the device. It significantly dims down. That means I'm doing something wrong. Don't measure current that way. You cannot measure current simply by putting your wires across. To measure current, you have to unplug your circuit somewhere, plug the red wire in, and the black wire goes where I broke my circuit. The light bulb is the same strength it was before, and I get a current rating of 0.38 amps. Instant replay. To measure current, do not set it across because that clearly impacts the circuit, and you see I get a current of 5.8. That's bad. Unplug a wire. I'm choosing the red wire. Unplug it. Clamp it into the red probe. Black wire goes back to where I broke my circuit, and I get a current reading. Voltage and current, different ways to measure them, different readings. Make sure that you know how to do that for your lab tomorrow.